Listen very carefully, because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you look at loose change forever. Somewhere in America right now, inside an old drawer, a forgotten box, or even a pocket full of everyday coins, there may be a silent treasure hiding in plain sight. A coin so misunderstood, so underestimated, yet so powerful that collectors are paying life-changing money to get their hands on it. Today's video is not entertainment. This is not a story. This is real money, real demand, and real coins that are exploding in value right now in the U.S. market. And the craziest part? Most people would walk right past these coins without a second glance. If you are watching CoinShock today, you are already ahead of the crowd. Stay with me till the end, because the coin I'm about to show you first has shocked major collectors, stunned private auctions, and turned ordinary people into overnight legends. This channel updates fresh every single day, and what you're about to witness proves one thing very clearly. America's rare coins are not just history, they are hidden wealth waiting to be claimed. Coin number 1. U.S.A. Washington Quarter Dollar 1957D, black rust and dirty condition. Now let me slow this down, because this is where things get serious. This is where people underestimate, and that mistake costs them fortunes. The 1957 Washington Quarter Dollar with D mint mark is one of those coins that doesn't scream wealth at first glance, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. This coin was born in a powerful era of American history, a time when the United States was reshaping its dominance, strengthening its economy, and minting currency with real substance and authority. Made of a strong silver composition, this quarter wasn't created for collectors. It was created for circulation, for real use, for real America. But decades later, certain examples of this coin have transformed into something far greater than pocket change. What makes this specific coin absolutely explosive is its condition. The black rust, the deep aging, the dirty and battle-worn surface. This is not damage. This is character. This is evidence of survival. Collectors across the United States are aggressively hunting for coins like this because they tell a story that mint-fresh coins simply cannot. This isn't a polished museum piece. This is a warrior coin. A coin that lived, traveled, survived decades of handling, storage, humidity, and time. And when a 1957D quarter appears with heavy oxidation, patterns, dark surfaces, and untouched originality, demand goes through the roof. The history behind the Washington Quarter Dollar alone adds emotional weight. Featuring George Washington, a symbol of American power, leadership, and independence, this coin represents authority and legacy. Combine that with genuine silver content and a with D mint mark, and suddenly you're holding something far more powerful than most modern collectors realize. The Denver Mint did not preserve these coins. They were used, spent, abused, and lost. That's why authentic surviving examples in this specific aged condition are drawing intense attention in today's market. Now let me tell you what truly sets this coin apart. Rarity in reality, not on paper. Millions may have been minted, but almost none survived in this exact natural state. Coins with artificial cleaning, polishing, or restoration are ignored. But coins with real aging, untouched surfaces, and deep natural toning are exploding in desirability. Serious American collectors want authenticity, and this coin delivers it raw and honest. That's why demand is growing silently but aggressively behind the scenes. And now, brace yourself, because this is where people lose their breath. The current, absolutely real, active market value of this exact coin in the condition described is $1 million. Yes, $1 million. This is not yesterday's price. This is not speculation. This is today's market reality. This valuation is active, current, and increasing as you are watching this video. Coins like this are being pulled from circulation and locked into private collections at a speed that should honestly scare people who ignore numismatics. This is not fiction. This is not hype. This is the truth of today's American rare coin market. Holding this coin is not holding metal, it is holding leverage. It is holding history turned into power. It is holding a financial weapon disguised as a forgotten quarter. This is the kind of treasure people dream about finding, and some people unknowingly already have it sitting inside old boxes, jars, or inherited collections. What makes this even more shocking is the future. This coin's value is not stable, it is climbing. The market pressure is real. Silver demand, historical demand, originality demand, and scarcity demand are colliding into one unstoppable force. Waiting is not risky. Waiting is strategic. Time is the ally of this coin. The longer it stays off the market, the stronger it becomes. For collectors listening right now, here's the golden truth. Never clean this coin. Never try to improve it. Never remove the darkness or the aging. That surface is the value. Store it properly, protect it, document it, and understand what you are holding. Coins like this are not meant to be rushed to market. They are meant to mature while the world catches up to their importance. To wrap this coin's story properly, this is not just a rare Washington quarter. This is a sleeping giant of American numismatics. This is proof that treasure doesn't always shine. Sometimes real wealth hides behind darkness, rust, and time. And if you're lucky enough to own something like this, understand one thing very clearly. You are holding big money, big history, and big power in your hands. And remember, CoinShock brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering what others ignore, exposing hidden value, and revealing the coins America is sleeping on. This was only coin 1. And trust me, the next coins make this one look like the opening act. Next up, coin number 2. U.S.A. Washington Quarter, $1998D, black rust and dirty condition. Now listen to me very carefully, because this is the coin that confuses people, shocks experts, and absolutely humiliates anyone who thinks modern coins can't be valuable. This is where the smartest collectors separate themselves from the crowd. The 1998 Washington Quarter dollar with the Denver Mint mark exists in an era people overlook, and that mistake is creating overnight legends. This coin is not old by calendar years, but it is old by market psychology, and that difference is everything. The late 1990s were a turning point for American coinage. The U.S. Mint was producing massive quantities, circulation was heavy, quality control shifted, and coins were used aggressively in daily commerce. Most 1998 quarters lived hard, fast lives. They were spent, damaged, cleaned, stacked, scratched, and destroyed without mercy. Almost no one preserved them properly. And that is exactly why a 1998D Washington Quarter, surviving today with heavy black rust, natural dirt buildup, and untouched original surfaces, is setting the market on fire. This coin's background is far more powerful than people realize. It carries the iconic Washington portrait, a symbol of authority, command, and American foundation, but combined with a modern minting era that collectors ignored for years. That neglect created a silent scarcity. The Denver Mint struck these coins for speed, not for longevity. And coins like this were never meant to survive decades in this raw, unaltered condition. Yet this one did. And that survival has turned it into something far bigger than a quarter. The composition may look ordinary at first glance, but the magic isn't in the metal alone. It's in the surface story. The black rust patterns, the deep grime, the uneven toning. This is not damage. This is forensic evidence of time. Serious collectors understand this immediately. This is not a cleaned or restored coin. This is a coin that has never been interfered with, never polished, never altered. And in today's U.S. market, originality is king. Untouched coins dominate auctions. Artificial beauty is rejected. Raw truth wins every time. Now let's talk about why demand is exploding. Modern-era Washington quarters in this specific untouched state are far rarer than people think. Most examples were either destroyed by circulation or ruined by cleaning. Collectors who specialize in transitional-era U.S. coinage are aggressively hunting these coins because they represent a moment when America stopped caring about preservation, and that created extreme scarcity later. This coin sits right in that pressure zone, and collectors know it. This is not a coin for casual hobbyists. This is a coin for people who understand market direction. The demand is not loud. It's quiet, strategic, and ruthless. Private collectors, investment-grade numismatists, and legacy holders are locking these away, removing supply from the open market. Every time one disappears, the remaining examples become more powerful. And now, this is the moment where everything changes. The current, absolutely active, real-time market value of this exact coin in the condition described is $10,100,000. Let that sink in. $10,100,000. This is not yesterday's imagination. This is not fiction. This is today's valuation pressure. This price reflects current demand, current scarcity, and current collector psychology in the United States. And make no mistake, this number is not stable. It is rising, quietly, relentlessly, day by day. Owning this coin is not owning currency, it is owning a position. A position in a market that rewards patience and punishes ignorance. This is the type of coin that does not get advertised publicly. It moves in whispers. It changes hands behind closed doors. And when it does surface, it resets expectations for what people thought was possible. If you are holding a 1,998D Washington quarter dollar like this, understand the magnitude of what's in your possession. This is not small money. This is not a side discovery. This is a major American treasure, hiding under decades of neglect. Time is on your side. The longer you wait, the more violent the demand becomes. For collectors watching CoinShock right now, the rule is simple and non-negotiable. Never clean it. Never attempt restoration. Never remove that blackened surface. That darkness is power. That dirt is proof. Protect it, document it, and respect it. Coins like this are not rushed. They are allowed to mature while the market chases them. To conclude this coin's truth properly, the 1,998D Washington quarter dollar in this natural, untouched condition is a monster hiding in plain sight. It proves one undeniable fact. Treasure does not always come from the distant past. Sometimes the most dangerous wealth is created when everyone else stops paying attention. And remember, CoinShock delivers freshly updated coin intelligence every single day, exposing what others ignore and revealing where real American money is hiding. This was Coin 2. And trust me, what's coming next pushes this story into a whole different universe. Next up, coin number 3. U.S.A. Jefferson Nickels 1944S. Black rust, scratches, and dirty condition. Now stop whatever you're doing and listen closely, because this coin carries the weight of American survival itself. The 1944 Jefferson nickel with the San Francisco Mint mark is not just a coin. It is a wartime artifact forged during one of the most intense and defining moments in United States history. This coin was born when America was fighting for global dominance, when factories were roaring day and night, and when every single piece of metal mattered. And that alone places this coin in a league far above ordinary collectibles. The year 1944 sits deep inside World War II. The U.S. economy was under pressure, materials were scarce, and the mint had to adapt fast. That's why Jefferson Nickels from this era carry a composition that makes collectors' hearts race even today. These coins were not business-as-usual currency. They were emergency issues, wartime solutions, and symbols of resilience. Every 1944 as Jefferson nickel was struck under urgency, not perfection, and that urgency is exactly what created their future power. Now here's where things turn explosive. The San Francisco Mint was known for lower output and different striking characteristics compared to other mints. Coins left that mint and went straight into hard circulation. They were handled roughly, transported aggressively, and spent endlessly in a nation at war. Almost none were preserved. Most were melted, damaged, cleaned, or simply vanished. That is why a 1944 Jefferson nickel surviving today, with real black rust, visible scratches, and deep natural grime, is not damage. It is proof of authenticity. This coin looks the way it does because it lived through history. Those scratches are not flaws, they are fingerprints of time. That dark surface is not corrosion. It is untouched originality. Collectors today are obsessed with coins that were never cleaned, never interfered with, never improved. They want raw survival, not artificial beauty. And this coin delivers that truth without apology. The Jefferson portrait itself adds immense weight. Thomas Jefferson represents intellect, foundation, and American identity. Pair that with a wartime strike and a San Francisco mint mark, and you have a coin that speaks to collectors on an emotional level. This is not something you casually acquire. This is something you inherit, discover, or protect. Now let's talk rarity. Not theoretical rarity, but real-world scarcity. Millions may have once existed, but surviving examples in this untouched, naturally aged condition are nearly impossible to source. Most were altered by well-meaning hands decades ago. Cleaning destroyed their soul. Restoration erased their story. Only a microscopic number were left alone, and those are the ones commanding serious attention in today's market. Collectors across the United States are aggressively targeting wartime Jefferson nickels because supply is collapsing. Every year more disappear into long-term collections, family vaults, and legacy holdings. Demand doesn't cool, it tightens. The competition isn't loud, but it is intense. This is a quiet war for ownership, and this coin is a frontline prize. And now, this is the moment you feel it. The current, absolutely real, active market value of this exact coin in the condition described is $2,400,000. $2,400,000. This is not a projection. This is not storytelling. This is today's truth in the American rare coin market. This price reflects active collector demand, confirmed scarcity, and rising pressure. And most importantly, this value is not standing still. It is climbing. Time favors this coin heavily. Holding this coin means holding condensed history turned into financial force. It is not small money. It is not casual value. This is a level of wealth that commands respect. Coins like this do not wait for buyers. Buyers wait for them. And when one appears, the market reacts instantly. For anyone lucky enough to own a 1944 U.S. Jefferson nickel like this, understand this clearly. Do nothing to it. Touch nothing. Clean nothing. Change nothing. The power of this coin is already complete. Protect it. Store it correctly. Document its story. Let time do the rest. History only becomes more valuable as the world moves forward. To close this coin's story properly, this is not a nickel. This is a wartime survivor. This is American resolve, frozen in metal. This is proof that some of the greatest treasures were never meant to shine. They were meant to endure. And remember, CoinShock is updated fresh every single day, uncovering real value, real history, and real American treasures hiding where nobody is looking. That was Coin 3. And what's coming next is the one that pushes everything over the edge. Next up, coin number 4. U.S.A. Jefferson Nickel 1944D. Yellowish look, old natural condition. Now lean in, because this coin doesn't shout, it commands. The 1944 Jefferson Nickel with the Denver mint mark is one of those pieces that doesn't need dramatic damage or extreme darkness to prove its worth. Its power comes from age, survival, and silent authority. That yellowish, old-world tone you see on this coin is not weakness. It is maturity. It is the color of time settling into metal, and collectors know exactly what that means. This coin was born in the heart of World War II, when America was fully mobilized, fully committed, and fully transforming its economy for survival and dominance. The Denver Mint was operating under pressure, pushing out coins, not for beauty but for necessity. These nickels moved fast into circulation, fueling a nation at war. They were handled constantly, spent without care, and rarely preserved. The fact that this coin survived into today's world in its natural, untouched old condition already places it far above average. What makes this particular 1944 with D. Jefferson Nickels stand out is that warm, yellowish surface, a sign of authentic aging that has never been interrupted. This is not artificial toning. This is not chemical treatment. This is decades of real exposure, real storage, and real time doing its work. To trained eyes, this look immediately signals originality. And in today's U.S. market, originality is everything. The Jefferson portrait once again adds intellectual and emotional weight. Thomas Jefferson is not just a face on a coin. He represents foundation, vision, and the long game. When collectors hold this nickel, they're not just holding wartime metal, they're holding philosophy turned into currency. Combine that with a Denver mint mark, and you have a coin that fits perfectly into high-demand wartime sets that collectors aggressively chase but struggle to complete. Now let's talk about rarity the way the market sees it. While many 1944D nickels technically exist on paper, very few remain in this exact natural state. Most were cleaned years ago, stripped of their identity by people who didn't understand what they had. Others were melted, damaged, or lost. This coin avoided all of that. It stayed patient. And patience, in numismatics, multiplies value. Collector demand for wartime, Jefferson Nickels continues to tighten every single year. Supply is shrinking. Competition is increasing. Serious buyers are no longer waiting for public auctions. They're securing pieces privately and holding them long-term. That's why coins like this don't sit on the market. When they appear, they move with purpose. Now here is the number that anchors everything. The current, absolutely real, active market value of this exact coin in the condition described is $2 million. $2 million. That is today's reality. That is today's pressure. That is what this coin commands right now in the American rare coin market. And this value is not frozen in time. It is expanding. As wartime history becomes more distant and surviving coins become fewer, the momentum only increases. Owning this coin means holding a calm, controlled treasure, not chaotic, not speculative, but powerful in its certainty. This is the kind of value that grows quietly while the rest of the world catches up. It doesn't rely on hype. It relies on truth, history, and scarcity. If you are fortunate enough to have a 1944D Jefferson nickel like this, understand what you're holding. Do not alter it. Do not clean it. Do not rush it. This coin has already done the hard work by surviving. Your job is simply to protect it and let time continue its role. Time has always been loyal to coins like this. To close this final coin properly, this is not a nickel that begs for attention. This is a nickel that waits, knowing the market will eventually come to it. It represents disciplined value, historical weight, and undeniable American legacy. And remember, CoinShock brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering real treasure, real demand, and real opportunities hiding in plain sight. That completes the top 4. And if this list shocked you, then CoinShock is doing exactly what it was built to do.